back, man.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy Cole, and I'm here with
Royal Conquest.
And
Grammy-nominated Watts, a.k.a. Mr. Biggs, a.k.a. Grown Man.
And we are the Devil's Advocates. Yo, today we reacted to some ABBA and Preach, man. Me personally, I fuck with these guys. I fuck with their content. They're pretty cool. Have you?
I know. I've seen them. I don't think I've ever really watched anything from them. No.
Where are you?
I see the thumbnails of them everywhere,
Yeah.
but I never really got into it. But today's the day.
This one is a hot topic. As you all know, Bill Cosby is a free man. So the title of this one is Why Freeing Bill Cosby was the correct thing to do, even if he is 100% guilty.
That's the title that they have, not us. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, to preface that.
Today's topic, Bill Cosby. A man's gone free. It's one of the few times where he said hashtag free Cosby.
Yeah.
And he got freed. So, if you guys haven't heard already, Bill Cosby is out after serving 2 years of what was supposed to be a much longer sentence. He got out early because the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, I believe, overruled the decision and decided to also bar the prosecution from ever prosecuting him again, which means he will not be going back to jail for these crimes. And that is where we stand.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that.
I heard something.
But I'm pretty sure that's what
just in the state of Pennsylvania or anywhere else.
I think because the charges were brought in Pennsylvania, he can only be charged in Pennsylvania. And he was acquitted, or this seems like an acquittal in Pennsylvania.
Seems like it.
That's some OJ shit. Where
yeah.
Even if he says tomorrow, I killed both of those people.
Yeah.
He can't get charged for it.
Yeah.
Now, was that the heist of the century, or is it?
What do you mean?
Like them freeing him and all that. Is that the heist of the century, or was
I don't
that justified?
I think they're gonna explain why. I
I
already have a feeling of what it is, but I'm gonna let them explain it.
He's completely exonerated. He's a free man. He's already made a few TV interviews. Mm-hmm. He's angry. He feels like he was unjustly done. So, if you guys don't know what happened, Cosby was charged with Weinsteining the lady. Basically, how it ended up happening was
Is it just based off of... Okay, they probably don't get to it, but there were dozens of accounts for this.
Mm-hmm.
So is this just based off of just one account?
I don't know the exact extent of the charges that were brought, that he was charged on. There could be multiple counts of
that was just thrown out,
sexual assault or whatever.
That was just
that he was charged.
No, they're charged up, but now it's just overruled, and it's like none of those shit. Cause
I think everything's out. Everything is out.
Oh no, this okay. I got it.
Weinsteining the lady. Basically, how it ended up happening was the previous DA, the district attorney, made a deal with Cosby in a civil suit to get him to testify. And the deal was that they wouldn't bring any criminal charges against him if he testified, basically giving him immunity. And this also extended to future DAs. The new DA comes in, says that deal isn't any good, throw it out. I'm going to use a testimony where you incriminated yourself in this criminal trial and send him to jail.
Just before the statute of the limitations. Did you read
I
that?
don't even...
They did that. They said, okay, we're gonna do this for this allegations just before the statute of limitations right now. But why would that make a difference?
It doesn't. They're going to explain why it's wrong. I already know why, but...
yourself in this criminal trial and send him to jail, which he spent 2 years in prison for. The Supreme Court decided that you can't do that if you make a deal with someone, especially if you make them renounce one of their rights.
Which is the Fifth Amendment.
Right? Which I think is like protection. I plead the fifth! Yeah, protection from self-incrimination. Right? That you are usurping the law and the understandings between defendants and prosecutions. So yeah, that's how it happened. So that's kind of like the gist of it in the technicalities. He's a free man. At the end of the day, he's 83. I highly doubt they're going to bring another case against him. He has a few more years. It's a wrap for him.
Yeah.
Did he get away with it? Yeah, he did. Like a lot of powerful, influential men, a lot of them get away with their crimes. That's kind of the norm. the end of the day, his legacy was destroyed whether he got released or not. They have him admitting to these crimes already. Even if it's in a civil suit, they have him admitting to it. So he's done this. This wasn't coerced. This wasn't forced. He admitted to this because he did do this. As far as Bill Cosby's legacy, he's going to be seen for those acts. Everything else, most of it's going to get erased. So there's no silver lining here. I don't think this is a great ending or anything like that. It's just the reality of the situation. So those are pretty much my thoughts. You know what worked in Bill's benefit? The fact that he worked alone. Because if he was like Jeffrey Epstein, he was working with a bunch of people doing all that stuff.
That's true.
Bill would have never made it out alive.
Oh, they would have flipped.
No, he would have never made it out alive. They would have got him.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not going to let you rat out the rich niggas. Look at Bill Gates. He's like being associated with like the fucking prince of like some country I never heard of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if Bill worked alone. You know what I mean? It was him, Spanish Fly, and a Spanish girl, right? So it worked out pretty well for him.
Quaaludes.
Yeah.
Not Spanish Fly.
So, yeah.
Spanish Fly isn't written.
Sometimes teamwork is not the best word. That's all I'm saying.
You got that right.
So if you go to a crime, try not to involve a bunch of people.
That's
Like, when I heard he got released, I was just like, after this pandemic, I'll believe anything.
Expect. I said, well, what's done? Of course. I was like, yeah, sure. Of course.
Well, I thought he was going to die in jail.
You thought?
He was in jail for 2 years. You don't really think something's going to get overturned.
What?
I thought so too.
Yeah, he was gonna just die in jail. I think we all thought that.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
I think this is actually super surprising.
yeah. This is like
It's not based off of what was said. He made
But
that
not-
deal before. Then it's
not-
like
not-
he probably knew that this was gonna happen
Bill?
already. Yeah, but I don't think
I think
the rest of us.
I think the only reason he's free is because his legal team knew, like, hey, like, this is a loophole where a civil suit or a confession he did in a civil case was used in a criminal prosecution, and you just can't do that. So all the evidence and everything doesn't matter.
yeah. So he couldn't get charged of being for a
and he had to
criminal
get
case.
released, right?
Yeah. So cause I was confused at first in terms of like what made the difference between the doing it right before the statute of limitations, because the DA was trying to get him out of here. That's why.
Right.
He was that whoever that DA was like, nah,
Do whatever.
I'm gonna
I
use
need
all
to.
these charges that's like right before the statute of limitations, regardless.
It makes sense. It makes sense why the prosecution did that, but it doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
Legally,
It's
right.
The correct part is those are all, but I know what they mean by that.
It was the correct thing.
It was the correct
under the umbrella of our legal system, and how it works and how our Fifth Amendment right works, but.
Yeah, it's more so instead like because the only thing correct I'm like it's like that means like, oh no, like that's correct, that's right, but it's more so like
doesn't make
it had to be done,
right?
Because you would be going against your own law. Okay,
right.
That's walk.
It's not like I followed the case that closely.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
So
that's why,
So
you
yeah,
don't care that much.
So yeah, appeals are generally not that successful.
And now exactly when you stop following. When he said that he did it.
No, once he went to jail.
Once he said he did it, I mean, that was, man.
Yeah. So, and the thing about Bill, I think the thing about Bill that I've always hated was like he was always telling people to be uptight and to be correct and polite and all this stuff, and find out behind a closed door. He thought it was hilarious to put.
He did used to do
Make
that.
sure you eat all your pudding, and make sure that you finish your pudding pop, and make sure that you always, do the right thing and don't boopity and boppity and
Do the clap again.
boopity and boppity and
How long were you sitting on that? Cause you was quiet for a while. How long were you sitting on
He was
that?
rehearsing the lines in his head.
How long were you sitting on that?
Make sure you eat your pudding pop.
Gotta do the face. Put out the Fat Albert reference. Oh god, that was that nigga Bill.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
Bang him.
Pudding.
Preach. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, well, first and foremost, the first thing that you have to understand is that it's not because he's free that he's not guilty. You understand what I'm saying? OJ, it's really just because basically the DA fucked up. The DA messed up pretty bad. He's stripping someone from their rights, their fundamental rights in the Constitution of the United States of America. You mess up. So the person that did the disservice to all the women is the DA. That's what happened. the one that no, let me go against that. It's easily overthrown. That's you gave that man a cake.
No, I would say it wouldn't it be the first DA?
No. It's the second DA, because the second DA said, "Fuck whatever the first DA did. I'm about to put this man in jail, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes, even if it's illegal."
You about to lose your
No.
job.
I'm saying
about to lose your job.
He's saying the reason why, like, okay, you're free, but I'm like, the first DA already made a deal saying you wouldn't be charged criminally.
In a civil case. The first DA was saying whatever you say in the civil case will not be used against you in a criminal case.
Yeah.
But that's just the law. That's not even the deal. That's just the law.
Well, like the other DA.
With what's his name he just said? Fuck. OJ. With OJ, he was acquitted criminally, but he was charged for the civil case.
Okay.
So whatever, the two don't conflate. Like, you can't use evidence from one to prove evidence from the other. So the first DA was right trying to get the win for the civil case. I don't know if they won the civil case, but whatever. But the second DA is the one that's wrong.
No, I'm talking about like wrong. No, the second DA was wrong. But I'm saying, but they were saying the reason why he's free is because the DA.
No, it's because the second DA used.
But would he have been charged anyway? Because we don't even know if he would have been charged regardless if it wasn't for
the civil case.
They was going to try him regardless.
We don't know. We'll never know.
Yeah, we wouldn't know if he would have been charged regardless. Never know. The other DA did that because he was like, no, we're going to use this before the statute of limitations. If it was included in the statute of limitations, he might not have went to jail anyway. Because this was like
criminally, yeah, he would have
past statute of limitations. Past the statute.
That's
what I'm saying. That's why they put it. He put it before then to make sure he went to jail.
But that doesn't make the argument right.
No. I'm not saying that. No, that the argument is right. But I'm saying I was confused. I'm like, wouldn't because not the plea deal, but regardless, we don't know if he would have got charged regardless. The second DA tried their hardest to get them.
Well, the second DA was going for the criminal suit. The first DA was just going for the civil. So that's two different things. Yeah.
So I mean, okay. I guess if you're saying like, okay, if he was still being tried criminally in a criminal case regardless, and then the DA messed up by forcing it to be that way. Because they're changing.
I think the DA messed up by using whatever testimonial from the civil case. Yeah. I feel like if the second DA didn't use that testimonial, they still might have got the win. And he would still be in jail.
You think so?
And there would be no acquittal. There's a very strong chance, but we'll never know because the second DA fucked up.
Yeah, okay.
The first DA that gave that deal, I don't even really understand what the deal was to, try to give that deal. Because if it was just to say, yeah, I did this and I did that and I did that, whatever, whatnot, but, we're not going to incriminate yourself. It's just basically, I understand how these ladies might have felt like I was a danger to their life or whatever, whatnot. And that's basically a slap on the wrist or whatever.
I was like,
well, the thing is, they didn't have much of a case against him without his testimony.
What was it, a civil case?
To pay out damages to the victims. That's usually what civil cases are.
Oh, okay.
Pain and suffering.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The reason why the second DA was able to convict him because he testified and admitted to stuff.
Yes, I was just talking about the first DA.
So the reason why the first DA made that deal was that I can't get him on anything, so let me at least get him to admit this. So there might be a civil suit that'll work out. Yeah. So I think that was.
But it was a civil suit.
But I will say, generally, immunity deals like this are not given for these kind of crimes. Generally, they're reserved for white collar crimes, things like tax fraud or things like
collusion.
Yeah, or stock exchange stuff, like those kind of crimes. That's when you get immunity for giving a testimony or whatever. But for criminal cases, it's not very common that you get this kind of stuff. The last case where this kind of thing happened, funny enough, was Jeffrey Epstein back in 2007. If you aren't aware, Jeffrey Epstein was initially charged with, fondling girls. That was reduced to the craziest sentence you can imagine. He had to do 1 year in jail, but it wasn't even 1 year in jail. He would go to jail during the day and go home at night.
Yeah.
Which is...
So the only correlation between the two is that they're very powerful, influential.
They did a 9 to 5
at jail. Going to school, really. What happened to OJ? It's not because the glove didn't fit, and it's not because the LAPD didn't, temper with the evidence that it didn't happen. You know what I mean?
They have a term for that? It's called fruit of the poisonous tree.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because if you get items from someone's house without a warrant, that stuff gets excluded from the case because of the fact that your procedures weren't accurate. So to allow that in is to reward people who break procedures.
Yeah, but also there was evidence that were planted.
Right.
On top of that, but
that's criminal. But I get what you're
whatever. Yeah. Anyways, all that to say, absolutely. Like you're saying, there's a funny conspiracy theory about OJ. That actually OJ didn't do it, but he was actually involved, and it was his kid that did it, and that's why the glove didn't fit. So
his kid?
Jay and OJ and
I heard that too. I heard it was I heard it was not him, but it was
he hired somebody.
He was there with somebody. No, it was one of his friends or something like that they said that he was with at the time, and it was like that's why like they said like it was other things like certain things was there that did fit him, but it was other things that didn't fit him because it was two people there. But because he's the namesake of it, it was like
that's insane.
It's who knows. It's like they go on Twitter making fun of it, so it's just, who knows.
Things that happened with the LAPD.
The kid, I'm not doing the kid though.
The long thing that happened with the LAPD was for the kid to be able to throw out the evidence. It's a funny story, but whatever.
That's my face when I watch Alex Jones. I'm laughing because he's hilarious. Carry on.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I mean, you messed up. You could have left it alone like that, and there was nothing you could have done better than that, than what was happening there. And look now you got a whole bunch of people pissed, and you got this guy free. He would have been free. You just really wanted him in jail, but you didn't have much of a case.
Not a big fan, but that's my thoughts on him. Anything else?
No.
Well, then what do you guys think about this whole Bill Cosby thing? Are you glad? Are you upset? Do you guys agree? Disagree? I want to hear your thoughts.
You know what I don't know now? This is help the Bill Cosby doc that's probably going to end up coming out, or does it hurt the Bill Cosby doc that's going to come out?
I think it's going to do a 30 for 30.
It's going to help them generate the ratings for sure.
You think so? Him getting out? I think him going to jail and staying in jail, because then that's like.
No, because they're gonna get a out of jail interview.
But they want to hear what he has to say.
Right.
About the entire shit.
It helps.
From step one to like the minute he got out.
It helps.
They want to know like how he felt, what was he thinking, like what their steps was to get him out.
And then they're gonna have the women on there that was assaulted.
Well, they're gonna go crazy.
And they're gonna be like, "How do you feel about Bill not getting acquitted?" They're gonna be like,
they're gonna go crazy. It's gonna be a 3-part series.
It's gonna be chaos.
2 hours long a piece. It's gonna be like The Last Dance, man. They're gonna go crazy. How y'all feel?
Surviving pudding
pops. Bill Cosby free.
Hey Claire, get my pudding pop.
That's actually not bad.
Thank you.
Oh man, close this video.
It's not that good either.
It's not that good. It's not that bad.
I just want to make sure. Nah, let me stop. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, let us know how you feel in the comments. About Bill Cosby being free. Should he still be in? Even if the answer is quite obvious, go ahead. Go crazy in the comments. Like and subscribe for more content like this and more. We got some things cooking up. We got some things coming. So, bye.
Peace.
Catch you on the next